What's going on, people? We're back for another one. It's Bivol versus Beterbiev fight week, and not even fight week, it's fight day tomorrow. We're here already. Today, I'm going to give my predictions for the full card breakdown. Let's get into today's video. Now, I've been very excited for this one. This is the best fight in boxing. Obviously, we've got some great fights coming up. We've got Fury versus Usyk 2, which is obviously a great fight. To be fair, I don't really know of any other fight anywhere near this magnitude, but Bivol versus Beterbiev. I believe it's the first time we're gonna have an undisputed champ at 175 in the last 25 years. It is an amazing fight it's gonna be. It's a true 50-50, undefeated fighters. Beterbiev with 20 fights, 20 KOs. Yeah, absolutely perfect record. Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult one to accurately predict. But let's get into the undercard fights first. First up, Mohammad versus Jesus Gonzalez. Now, it's Mohammed's first fight. It's his debut fight. He's a fighter that's actually originally from Saudi, but he's moved over to Glasgow and he's fighting under Joe Gallagher. Not going to spend too much time on this. Obviously, we don't really have any information to go on. I believe this is a good run out to see Mohammad for the first time, and he shall win this fight. Of course, no need to spend too much time on that one. Next up, let's talk Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron. Ben Whittaker is ever the showman, and Liam Cameron is he's a very interesting fighter. He's a come forward fighter. He will not let Ben Whittaker off the hook, which I feel like will actually play into Ben Whittaker's hands a little bit more. I know people have a lot of issue with Ben Whittaker showboating, but yo, man, you're idiots. Let him do what he does. Boxing's an entertainment sport. At the end of the day, he is not on some misfits thing. He is actually boxing. He actually has very good boxing skill. And part of that showboating is just part of his expression, but also it's a bit of a tactic. It can make your opponent frustrated. It can make them make stupid mistakes, and you can capitalize on those mistakes. Now, the worry about Whittaker is, does he have the power to actually kind of take himself further in the pro game? And I think it's a bit too early to tell. You know, so far it hasn't looked too great in the power department, but that still doesn't really matter, because how many rounds has he lost? You know, it isn't really the end of the world when it comes to real boxing purists, people who understand and really like boxing skill. So Ben Whittaker, easy win over Liam Cameron. I think Liam Cameron will try and put on him, but I don't feel like Ben Whittaker will have too much trouble with this fight. Next up, Nicholson versus Raven Chapman. I've heard some people be like, you know, Raven Chapman's looking really good, and even I did, like, oh, she's quite a tough customer. But I watched Nicholson's last fight, I've rewatched it, and I watched some of her training footage, and I'm just like, I don't feel like Raven Chapman's feet are good enough. They're good, but Nicholson's are a level above. That jab that she has, she will keep her away all night, I believe. And she is starting to work on throwing that overhand left as well, obviously from a southpaw position. I go for a Nicholson win. I don't see too much trouble here. I do see it being a bit of a dogfight, but I don't see Raven getting her in actual trouble. But I don't think it's going to be as easy breezy as Sky's had with her previous opponents. But I do feel like Sky's a level above. And again, she gets a lot of criticism about, you know, oh, she doesn't fight, she punches and moves and blah, 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 blah. Shut up. She's winning fights, man. Also very good boxer. She's not fighting as a runner. She's not running away. She's jabbing and moving. And my point is, when it comes to, oh, that person's running, well, if you're a great boxer, you got to do something about it. You can't blame it on that person's style, you know? And I think Raven Chapman is a good style to go against guys to try to do something about it, but I just don't believe she will quite get there. You know, if I'm wrong, but I don't think she'll do it. Nicholson for the win. Eubank Jr versus Szeremeta. I'm very frustrated by Eubank Jr.'s career. I'm a big fan of the guy. Like, I think he's an interesting character. I think he's a character that is needed in boxing, but I just feel like he's wasted his career, and he does a lot of these type of things, these fights that just kind of just like, why are you fighting this guy? Obviously, it's great fight last time out versus Liam Smith, but now I'm just like, come on, man, step it up. You're a bit older now. It's about time to see a bigger fight, or, you know, or fight for a world title. So this is just bleh. I don't even really have that much interest in this one. Szeremeta, he's a tough guy. You know, he lost to Triple G and he lost to Mongia. Very tough guy, but watching his fight versus Triple G, I rewatched it again the other day. It just doesn't really seem like he has anything to offer Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr. might stop him, but I don't know if he will, because like I said, he's a tough guy. So I'm gonna go for Eubank Jr. win, of course, but I don't really care about that one. Next up, now this is one I do care about. Jai Opetaya versus Jack Massey. Now this should be, and I said this last time and I was wrong, but this should be a bit of a, not a show stealer because the main event's obviously crazier, but this should be a very, very, very good fight. Jack Massey's a tough customer. Went the distance with Joseph Parker. That was a long time ago. But also unexpectedly beat Chamberlain in his last time out. And he's a very, very tough guy, Massey. I don't see him beating Jai Opetaya, so I do go Jai Opetaya on this one. It will be a tough one. Jai won't walk through him the way that he did with Elizoro and the way that he did with Jordan Thompson, but I'm going for a Jai Opetaya win. I don't necessarily want to say knockout, maybe a points win. And then next up, we got Fabio Wardley versus Frazer Clarke, the rematch. This is going to be a very interesting one. There's so many people going different ways. This is a true 50-50. The first one was a draw. You know, I don't really mind if you say you lean towards Fabio, lean towards Frazer. For me, I watched it and I thought Fabio could have won it. That's the argument there. Frazer could have won it. That's a draw. That's definitely a draw. I don't think it would have been fair to go one way or the other. I think this is the most fair draw I've ever seen in boxing. For this fight, it's a real interesting one. Like, Frazer should have the boxing IQ and should have the boxing experience to learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight and to come back a lot stronger. But Fabio is a dog. He's a dog with a bone. When he hits someone and he gets them hurt, he comes for them. Like, and if you hit him and get him hurt, it's even worse. He's got the absolute perfect mentality for a heavyweight boxer. Absolute killer in the ring, gentleman outside, but when it's ready to go and it's go time, he goes. Now he does have a lot of technical deficiencies in terms of how he punches, how he moves his feet, how he holds his guard. I do still lean a little bit towards Wardley. You know, he hurt Frazer Clarke in the first fight. He dropped him. You know, obviously Fabio's nose will be an issue in this one, but I just feel like Wardley will make those adjustments to, you know, get Frazer out of there after he drops him this time. We'll see, but it is a 50-50, so either way, I don't mind, but my prediction will be going for Fabio Wardley. For a KO, yeah, actually I'm gonna put a bit of a stamp on that. I don't think he's gonna go on points this time. I think he has to KO him. The main event of the evening. Dimitri Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev. Now, this is just chef's kiss of a fight. Now, some people won't really realize just how amazing this fight will be. I've heard a lot of descriptions of this fight as, oh, bull and matador and boxer versus puncher and, you know, da-da-da-da. And the more that I've seen stuff go on in fight week, the more that I lean towards Artur Beterbiev, winning the fight. People really underrate Beterbiev's skill, his boxing skill. They talk about his power, they talk about him being a power puncher, they talk about him being a hard hitter, they talk about all that stuff, but they don't talk about what he does to set up those punches. With Bivol, he's obviously a master at distance and range, and that is going to count for a lot in this fight. But with Beterbiev, he's a master of changing angles and closing the distance and getting on the inside, because he doesn't need wind up on his punches. Whereas most boxers, and the science side of boxing is that you need to build velocity for a backhand in order to develop that power. Beterbiev don't need that. He just needs to get nice and close and throw short, sharp shots, because he's got heavy, heavy hands. I believe he has denser bones than an average human. Yeah, he's someone that a lot of people, I've watched a lot of stories of people who sparred him and sparring partners talking about how the sparring felt and after and before. And these sound like horror stories. Like, it sounded like what you heard about Mike Tyson's sparring partners, but 10 times worse, because a lot of these people are talking about him with a lot of respect and a lot of reverence. Like, there's no bravado, there's no ego when you talk about sparring Beterbiev. And a lot of time I'm hearing he spars in 20-ounce gloves as a 175 guy, and he's still hurting people and hitting them in their hip and it hurts their foot. All this madness I'm hearing. I just believe he's going to get it done. He uses his footwork very well to get to the inside and throws short, sharp shots. Now, I believe that Beterbiev is going to start attacking Bivol's body early, very, very early, trying to slow him down, getting on the inside and not going to the head. Bivol's very, very good with blocking to the head. He's also good with defending to the body as well. I believe you'll see Beterbiev going to that body. Now, we haven't really seen Bivol hurt. We have from Callum Johnson, I believe, and maybe Joseph Jr. So only twice in his career. What do you call it again? The Lyndon Arthur fight, he was not hurt when he faked getting hurt to the body and went backwards. He was trying to tempt Lyndon Arthur in. I believe that Beterbiev, obviously, I know that he can hurt him. He can hurt, I believe, anyone. Heavyweight as well. Yeah, we've seen him drop Usyk. So I think he's going to attack the body early, try and slow him down, and then get on the inside with using his angles and just get him against the ropes. And, you know, it's easier said than done against Bivol, but that is the game plan, and then start to hurt him consistently. Not going to look for one knockout shot. Beterbiev's never been a one knockout shot puncher. It's an accumulation, and maybe one shot will daze you, but it's not one shot, bang, out cold. I believe Beterbiev's going to win. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say by knockout. I think this might be the one to kind of ruin the perfect record, but I do believe he shall win. Possibly points, possibly a late stoppage. I don't see Bivol stopping Beterbiev. Bivol won his last fight, but against Malik Zanard. Zanard was not that great. He was game, he was on it, but he was not like a high-level fighter. And Bivol did get caught quite a few times in that fight. So I think if he tries to risk it to try and go for the knockout against Beterbiev, he will get caught. And if you get caught against Beterbiev, there's dire repercussions. That's my opinion on the whole thing. If I'm wrong, I actually don't mind in that main event. I like Bivol and Beterbiev both the same, so I don't mind who wins either way. It's a true 50-50 fight. I just lean towards Beterbiev, very 55-45 in my opinion. Let me know what you think, what are your predictions, comment your thoughts below, like, share, subscribe. See you soon. Peace.